Hey Dave, how's it going? Yeah, that is true. I need to be a bit more specific next time. How you doing? What is up with my brakes? Hey Dave, how's it going? Yeah, that is true. I need to be a bit more specific next time. Let me mute myself here. I'm good, Dave. Hey cuz, how's it going? Ah, for some reason, all hell is going to break loose on this flight, I think. I was looking at the weather in Southampton and I was like, crap, there is no ILS. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, Michael is streaming after me, so I did pretty much everything um, before I started the stream. So I'm just going to fill my flight plan and my fuel. And that should be in there now. Yep. Yeah, that looks fine. Hold on. This didn't cross over, so let me just set up my arrival for there. I think it's BAM 2. So I'm going to descend down to BAM 2, that's 23. (1500 feet per minute) is going to be my descent rate. And now I should have top of descent on both. Okay. I am flying with my virtual airline, so I'm rocking their scenery. Fly UK. For some reason the contact points on the dash 8 is below the ground, but I find recently that happens with the dash 8 in all my airports. Once it starts to push back though, that's gonna come back on top and it should be fine. Now if that happens on landing, I am gonna be gutted. Hey Mike, how's it going? I was gonna do the fly B, but I was like, nah. Trying to be realistic with a fake airline rather than an airline that went out of business with Corona. Anyways, we've got all the passengers on board. I'm gonna start the APU now. Sternal power off, main bus tie off. I love to hear this APU point up. There is no other aircraft that the APU sounds that cool on. Yeah, Flybe was the first airline to go under with Corona. They were trying to get a bailout with from the UK government, and they couldn't. The UK government wanted to help them, but as the UK was in the EU, there's strict rules in terms of helping competition, and Ryanair was going to go to court for it. So they folded, and that was shortly after Virgin had actually shown some interest in it. I think Virgin actually bought Flybe, but they didn't last much longer after. So Flybe used to be the biggest Dash 8 operator in Europe. I don't think I can actually put my finger on another company that actually operates Dash 8s in Europe. Not off the top of my head. Probably around the world is now probably more likely to be found in Canada than anywhere else, which is a shame. I love these birds. The 300 was amazing. Not such as big a fan of the 400 as I am of the 300, but there's no 300 in P3D, so we may do what we have. See, the contact points are now above the ground, so the aircraft now is sitting as it should. Generator on. Alright, let's close up and get out of here. Services, remove the GPU. Exits. Always a bit funky on the Dash 8. You can't close them all at once, you have to do them one after the other, and sometimes the aft paths gets confused with the other options, because I just clicked on close the forward one and I actually closed the aft one. And you have to wait until the arrow comes back up. Again, I close the forward one and then the bikes close. And they're all closed now. Alright, so we are going to be cruising today at 24,000 feet. This plane is going to climb like a snail. We're supposed to have Vincent joining us. Actually, he's having issues, so he's going to watch. That's fine. Yeah, I want to fly on a Jazz Dash. I actually never flown on the Q400. I've flown on the 100s, I've flown on the 300s, and I've flown on the Dash 6, but I've never flown on the 400s as yet. So I'm hoping that I do get the chance to do it. I wanted to fly on the Concorde and that didn't happen. So I'm hoping that I get the opportunity to at least fly on a Dash 8. Anyways, enough of that. Let's get out of here. We are going to be taking off from runway 06.
Looks like icing precautions are enforced. Delay your engine start until push complete, and the aircraft.
This is one of the aircrafts in the sim that is actually affected by ice.
Good day, Captain.
So we would definitely be putting on our anti-ice
so
for takeoff.
Back in just a couple of minutes. Can you please confirm that your parking brake is set?
I ended up dropping out of the sky once and it wasn't fun. It's not like the ones in NFS where you show the whole airframe, like the engines and stuff freezing up. What you will have is on the pilot windows, you'll have on the very front of the propellers, and then on the tail cone. Let's push back, nose left, tail right.
The tug is in position, the bypass is inserted, and we are ready to push. Okay, it looks like the apron is clear. Release parking brakes.
Parking brake release.
Pushing out. Looks like icing precautions are enforced. Delay your engine start until push complete, and the aircraft is clear.
It's a bit of a taxi, so we are probably going to just taxi single engine, and then as we get closer to the runway, we'll start the last engine. I hope so too, Vincent. I have very little faith on what my approach is going to be like into Southampton. Yes. Transponder on. And before you say it, Michael, yes, I have it at daytime. Seriously, Dave, 500. Wow, business must be good. The Dash 8 was popular in the Caribbean as well too, but they went the route of the ATRs, which is a bit disappointing. I'm not a big fan of the ATRs.
Pushback is complete. Set your parking brakes, please, and confirm.
Parking brake set. I just hope I can remember where the anti-ice and stuff like that is. Otherwise, this is going to be a very embarrassing stream. I've got the window heat on. Pin status are on.
Unlocking the gear.
And I got my big anti-ice right here over on the left
Tug
side.
is disconnected, Captain, and clear. Bypass pin has been removed. Clear left and right. Disconnecting now. Have a good flight. Bye-bye.
I figured that I'll be preemptive with that. I will not bother you again about changing the time.
Clear for engine start.
For 2020. Alright, let's get this thing started. Alright, so we are going to go with the number 1 engine. Number 2 rather. Looks like I have the whole airport to myself, and rightfully so, because it is after midnight and most sane people are sleeping. Alright, we've got a good start for engine 2.
For takeoff and landing, these devices must be switched off, and the cellular phones may not be used during the entire flight. We wish you a pleasant stay on board.
Door controls check. That's full left. Full right. Neutral. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Neutral. Full right. Neutral.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention to the international safety regulations. This aircraft has 6 emergency exits. 2 exits are located in the front, 2 at the wings and 2 at the back. They are marked with the exit sign. Illuminated escape path markings on the floor lead to these exits. Each seat is equipped with the safety belts. To fasten the seat belt, put the 2 ends together. Tighten it by pulling the loose end.
Shift for traffic, Skyways 1194, A start scene to runway 06. Shift for traffic.
Is located under your seat and is sealed in a plastic bag. When instructed to do so, take a hold of the bag and take the life vest out. Pull the life vest over your head. Fasten the life vest by connecting the hooks to the ring. Pull the struts until the life vest
Don't want
is
that
properly
one.
adjusted. On leaving the aircraft, pull the threads tight and the life vest will inflate. Red tubes are located on both sides for blowing the additional
There's
air
the
into
radar
the life
test.
vest. For more detailed information, please refer to the safety instruction card in a seat pocket in front of you.
I wish I had
Thank you for your
split
attention.
propellers, throttles rather. This is actually one of the easier aircrafts to taxi single engine because P3D has this traction thing. There's a fix that the guy that developed FSU IPC have for the Boeings, but it doesn't work that great. The other aircraft I know that does single engine taxi and doesn't make it that much difficult is the FS Labs. Again, if you've got split throttles, it's great. If not, then you're kind of fighting with the throttles when you're trying to get the second engine started. The thing is, because with P3D, sometimes it's so ridiculously dark, like I can't fly certain planes at night, like the 787. So unless you've got the dome light on its highest illumination, it is impossible to see what's going on in that 787 once the sun has set. Same thing with this aircraft as well. This jumping that you guys are seeing, this is chase plane acting up. It's not fully compatible with the Dash 8. I know I'm taxiing really slow, but I'm gonna start my second engine now because I want a couple minutes before I actually apply full power. So let's start number one. That's a good start. Okay, APU is coming off. Lobster. I've only got the bad night textures with I only get that in places where you have, what's that company, not Latin VF, Flight Tampa. I haven't gotten it with any other developer, so like around Australia, Athens, there's Copenhagen, Canada, but I haven't seen it with any other developer, and I kind of find it strange. I don't know. I really can't remember what time I put it for. It should be early in the day though, because I will here to know sunset catches me. Nah, sun isn't even high yet, so we should be good for that. For traffic, Skyways 1194 is entering and backtracking for runway 06. Shift for traffic. Anti-collision light to white from right.
Approaching 06. On runway 248, 800 meters remaining.
Autopilot test. Fuel pump sign, doing sign. You should be lucky that I didn't go for runway 36. Runway 36 is like a 20-minute drive.
On runway 06.
Okay. Control lock off. Where is it? Nope, that's not what I want. There we go. Alright. Props full forward. Lead 1 and 2 down. And I am going to put on my ice protection. Fast, just in case we encounter any icing.
On runway 06. On runway 06.
Shift for traffic, Skyways 1194. It's taken off runway 06. Shift for traffic. Let's go. Rotate. Get off. I went off a little bit. Bugger. That was a big deviation. See, that's why I record stuff. That's lay off. Five flaps. Give it a bit of rudder trim. Flaps full up. Shift for traffic, Skyways 1194 is on the Volo 1R departure, climbing through 4,700 feet. And back to 850. That's 900 rather. Okay, we passed transition altitude, so now to standard. To 992. Bells off.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your own safety, we instruct you to keep your seatbelt fastened or in
think this is one of the best looking aircrafts they have in the sim, but I'm biased. Anyways, let's see. Let's increase the speed. Oh no, you're just being an idiot. There's no way that I want to do that. Now with this, there's two ways that you can increase your speed. You can either lower your pitch, which I think is the best way to go, or you can do IAS. The only thing is that if you require too big a speed difference, it might cause the aircraft to descend, so it's always going to be better to use the pitch. Once you've gotten to your altitude or that you're going to be cruising at, or your flight level, whichever, then you can use IAS, but the VNAV on this doesn't control speed. You control it with your props. And depending on how lazy she gets, sometimes I may actually have to go back to full power just to get her up to 24,000. Up to 18,000 thereabouts, she's fine, but then she climbs quite lazy. So what did I miss? Let's see. That is true. And if it wasn't because it was streaming, I would be doing this. Well, I wouldn't be doing this, I'd be in bed. But if I was actually doing this, it would have been in real time. Because everybody know that that's one of my biggest pet peeves, except for streams. Dave, Amsterdam, boy, I don't know what to tell you. Amsterdam is the only airport where you literally probably cross a country just to get to the runway. If you're ever so unfortunate to be landing on runway 36, right or left, or 18, and say for example you were coming from London, the taxi time is pretty much the same as the flight time. That being said, it's still my favorite European airport. Doing pretty well though, 230 knots and climbing at 1500 feet per minute. I drop it to 1000 feet per minute. Another thing with the FMC on this aircraft, it doesn't auto update, you gotta keep up with it. Oh damn it, ATC is on. So guys, for those who are just joining, welcome to, I believe it's my first airline ops stream for the year. I did a couple streams before, but it was just general aviation. We are going to Southampton International Airport, just took off from Amsterdam, and we are in the Dash 8 Q400, just en route to our cruise, climbing through 16,000 feet. And we're gonna end up at 24,000 feet when we're finished. We've got about 255 miles to cover. So we're going to be flying for roughly about another 50 minutes to an hour. I am not dealing with ATC at minutes to 1 in the morning, sorry. So guys, how's the new year treating you? I've never been to Italy. I usually go to Amsterdam like before the pandemic. I used to go to Amsterdam twice a year. I would love to go to Asia one day. We were supposed to go to, where were we supposed to go to? We were going to go Cancun last year. And it would have been the first time that I would have flown on an A380. And that didn't happen for obvious reasons. It was also going to be my first time seeing Hollywood. Obviously that didn't happen. So I missed out on my debut for my acting career. When you go to Asia, where are you going? Yeah, Denver's quite massive as well. But for Denver, you actually have that feeling that you're definitely in a different country, because there's on one side where you got this green-ish grass, and then the other side looks like the freaking desert. In the States, I want to say that my favorite is Atlanta. I don't know. I've been to Miami, I've been to Atlanta. Where else did I go? I've been to JFK. Oh, and of course. I think the most fun in this aircraft though is the setup. It's a bit laborious, but I think the most fun in this is the setup. After that, everything is kind of mechanic and stuff like that. So I am going to take out some of that rudder trim. So that's 0. No, I need to put it back in. So when you're flying this, you want to fly coordinated. So you want this triangle to be directly in the middle of the little other triangle under it that's above the 20 degrees. So you're using the rudder trim for this. You're gonna have to reset it again once you're in cruise. And this unfortunately is one of the aircrafts that you can't leave unattended. It doesn't do anything silly on its own, but it needs someone to be actively watching it, because it can eventually get slow enough to stall. So every now and then I will just drop the pitch a little bit so my speed doesn't get too low. At this point you've got two options. You can either keep reducing your pitch. If you're dealing with ATC, they expect you to have a climb. Oh, I'm descending, my bad. They expect you to have a climb of around anything 500 and up per minute. If you find that you can't hold 500 a minute, then you might want to bump it back up to full power. This doesn't simulate the engine blow to the best of my knowledge, but generally you don't want to run full power for more than a minute. It's a sim, so everything doesn't have to be run to the letter for the sake of realism. It just depends on how you want to actually get there. I've never been to LaGuardia. I've been to quite a few small ones, but those are the only big international ones that I've been to. I would love to go into LaGuardia. LaGuardia is the one that has you coming over the sea, and it's a ridiculously short runway. Full power. Otherwise this thing's gonna take forever to climb. Almost in cruise. As soon as our speed starts going up, we're going to bring the props back to 850. And that's it right there. 850 on the props. And then throttles back. So that's us there. When we go for our arrival, we're going to be descending down to 2,500 feet. So I'm just going to set that in here. That's why I love my FS2 crew. I have FS2 crew for this aircraft, but me and the first officer, we are not on speaking terms. We don't get along well at all. For some reason, I can never make him work like how he does on the 737 and the FS Labs. As soon as we get to the takeoff stage, he just won't listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We sent the last name previous up for time. Our in-flight cabin services begin at 7 J's and white minutes and fresh minutes. If there's anything else you require, please ask all flights to answer for assistance. Once again, on behalf of the entire flight crew,
just looking for a top of descent. I've already got it in, so I should be able to see it on here by increasing the range. What I'm looking for is a circle. I'm not seeing it here. Let's see if it comes up now. Yeah, there it is. So what I just did here, I need to do on the other one because they don't speak to each other. So if we have enter. So we've got a little bit of time now. Dave, there's a lady, her name is Emily. She streams MFS since she got, I think she got furloughed. She used to be a Dash 8 pilot. She streams on MFS now. If you interested, if you look her up, she's got some videos like when she was doing her check rides. Obviously that part isn't recorded, but it was showing all the work she was doing to leading up to it. She was what was it? I think her name is Emily. Yeah, I think she flies, it's not Vancouver, I think it's Montreal she's based at. I like her videos and stuff like that. I haven't followed her for the MFS videos. I find it a little bit too comedian for that. But I saw one of her last MFS videos. Once she got the hang of it, she was showing like how to use the GPS, talking about how things were. And it's Quebec. Quebec is where she's at, not Montreal. Quebec. In terms of how it looks in the sim and how it looks in real life. But she's got some really nice streams with the Dash 8. She's captain now, and I think I've seen her gone up also on a Cessna 172 with a frame. Oh, Calgary. Oh yeah, my bad. Quebec, Calgary, Toronto. No worries, Mike, is all good. I think she's the only one that I know of out there that actually I'm gonna bump up my power a little bit because I'm dropping to 230 and it was all the way at 245. And this is one of the reasons why you don't want to leave this aircraft alone, because you're gonna have these speed variations and the the autopilot is too dumb to keep speed. I hope I don't pay for that remark later on my arrival. Was she a bush pilot in Africa? Oh, with UNICEF. I think she used to fly with UNICEF. No? I applied to one of those companies around 2000 and I think it was 2010, no, 2011, because I finished in 2010. I applied to one of those companies. They did message me back, but it was just like basically just to tell me what I need to do to be qualified, and I didn't have the hours that they wanted. They wanted something like 3,000 hours. So at the time back home we had Liat and Caribbean Airlines and Caribbean Sun, all that used to have Dash 8s, and I was hoping, well, Sun, actually I worked for Sun as I used to check in for them, but they went under before I finished my flight training. I think when I finished flight training we just had Liat. Caribbean Airlines had they're a bit, I don't want to say protective, but unless you were Trinidadian or Jamaican, they wouldn't even look at you. So the only option we had was Liat, and I tried to get on with them, but that didn't work out. But one of the guys that actually got me back into flying, he's living in Africa right now and he's working with them. I haven't spoken to him in years, unfortunately, which is sad. I got into this rut and he pretty much talked me out of it and got me back into flying. So I guess basically if it wasn't because of him I would have never gone through with it. But if I can get a gig with one of these things, I would fly for food. You don't have to pay me no big salary. Cover my bills and I am over the moon. In case you guys are wondering why ATC hasn't messaged me, I disconnected. I can't deal with ATC this late. It looks like there's London control the whole of the UK except for, what's that? It looks like the majority of the UK is covered by ATC. And then the majority of France is, all of France is covered as well. They probably have something going on. 144 miles to go. Cheers, man. There's an aircraft. Oh my gosh, the Pilatus is the one that has the big engine on the nose, single engine. Yeah. There's a turboprop aircraft. It's similar to the Dash 8 kind of, but instead of the engines being on the front, it's on the back. I went on one once. It was parked in Atlanta, and I went in and I look, and the thing looks like what I imagine Air Force One would look like. I would love to get into it, but I don't remember the name of it. See if we can Google it. Aircraft with engines behind wing. I don't know. That doesn't help much. Ah, there it is. What is it? I can see a picture of it. Hold on, I'm trying to see it there. I can see a picture of it, but it doesn't say what aircraft it actually is. But it's an unusual looking aircraft. It has like two little wings by the nose, and then it has its normal long wings, and behind the wings they have the engines rather than in front of them. Piaggio. I think it's called a Piaggio. Yeah, the Piaggio P180. That's a sweet aircraft as well. Southampton, and we are going to be doing the... Seriously? How did I miss that? Is it the same one? have to check out MFS and see if that's in there. To be fair, when I go in MFS, I don't really look through the aircraft. I know exactly what I'm going to fly. So I tend to go straight to either the Airbus or the Cessna 172. So as you can see, we are approaching our top of descent, and this V and this pink bar is gonna descend as I get closer, and once it's level with my altitude, I'm gonna hit the VNAV button, and then we're going to descend around 1500 feet per minute. I've never done a VNAV approach on this RNAV approach rather on this aircraft, so it's going to be interesting to say the least. Oh, okay. Hard pass. I actually took up the Diamond 62. I did a one flight with it, and once you get it airborne, it flies really nice. But I did 2 landings, one on takeoff and then one when I got to my destination and I parked it. Then took up the one in P3D by Vertex. Let's check the weather. (020) at 11 knots. We're landing on runway 02, so it's going to be straight down the nose. Clouds at 1800 feet, which is going to be interesting. The elevation for, let's see, what's the elevation? Elevation is 43 feet, so that's fine. Transition altitude is 6,000 feet. And there we go. We've just started our descent. Power coming back. Don't know what's going on with chase plane. This is a straight in arrival, so I should be pretty okay. No, it's not. Should be fine. Thought we would have gotten some bad weather, but it seems we're above everything. How do you find the Bonanza? I saw Michael and Stalker throwing around the TBM, but I've never flown it. I wouldn't even know how to start. I think I tried the Caravan once and I gave up on trying to get it to start. So it looks like I'm gonna overfly the airport at 3,000. Fly out to BAM to 2,500 feet, turn around and then come back into land on runway 02. This aircraft does not do steep turns very well, so how many mods are there out there for those aircraft? I thought it was only the BizJet and the Neo. Is it the same people that are modding them, or is it fly by wire? I think that's the one for the A320. Let's see what landing speed we're going to be doing. So our weight currently is 51,209 pounds. And we're going to do a flaps 15 landing. So we're going to be doing 122. I'm going to add 8 to that, so let's call it 130. Approach altitude is going to be 415. Wow. Have you flown the 747 with the mod? I wish they could actually change the flight dynamics for the aircraft. It's really disappointing when you've had everything going quite okay until the landing, and then it's like a kite in a storm. Put in some rudder trim. hard pass from that thing. 747 is my favorite aircraft. Do you normally fly just jets only, or are you flying the? Are you flying mainly GA like myself? Oh. Are the mothers talking to Asobo though? Because from what I understand, Asobo seems to be quite cooperative with the likes of Aerosoft. From what I'm reading on their streams, they tell Asobo their concerns, and Asobo has been pretty much trying to fix everything that they have on their wish list, so to speak. Which is kind of surprising that the CRJ isn't out by now, because they had said December. But man, that plane depresses me. One time I was flying that plane, and just before I get to the top of descent, there was a co-pilot next to me, and in my seat there was a captain, and all the buttons on the panel had disappeared. There was no way for me to initiate descent or anything like that. I did my first flight, my first entire flight on MFS3D Neo last week with Michael. We flew from Houston. Where did we go to? We went from Houston to oh my gosh, I can't remember the airport. But I was recording the landing. There's no way that landing will see the light today. That's 10,000 feet. Forest landing lights coming on. Let's go back on our seatbelts. Yeah, I guess. By me, you should be willing to take some kind of help if you've got... Oh my god, what's she doing? Alright, my aircraft. And I've got ice. Just great. I am going to talk to you once I get this thing on the ground, because this is going to get very interesting right now. It's funny how nothing like this happens to me when I'm flying, except when I'm streaming. Alright. So what's going on here? Why would it go out? Yeah, I've got my anti-ice on. I've got it on fast as well. There's the ice on our props and on our tail. Am I glad that I'm not on that thing? .019 for the altimeter. I don't think I'm gonna go all the way out to this waypoint either. As soon as I get beneath this skunk, I'm gonna turn around and land visually. I've got some weather just over there as well. Why are you climbing? Flight director off. Could run in minimal VFR or special VFR, I guess. Looks like I'm gonna still end up at that same waypoint. I can't see jack. Alright, let's turn back in and hope for the best.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
of it. Oh, what was that? Nope, don't climb. I'm having a hell of a time of my life right now. There we go.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
I just need to get under this crap. Alright.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just started our approach. We would kindly ask you to
Carry on.
fasten your seatbelts again and turn off all your electronic equipment.
There we go.
Cabin crew, please take your seats.
I am way too high. Yeah, I'm gonna do a circle and yeah, I'm not gonna make that down. Do a 360 here, there's no vaccine. Chase plane is acting up. I might have to close off chase plane. Go back on my gear.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
Yeah, I see it, but where's the airport? There we go.
1,000.
500. Plus 100. Minimums. Minimums.
Landing. Try my best with chase plane, but it's not going good.
100.
Don't
50.
bounce.
40. 30. 20. 10.
I bounced. That was horrible.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our final destination. Please remain seated with the seatbelt securely fastened until the aircraft has reached its parking position and the seatbelt sign has been switched off. Please continue to observe the non-smoking sign.
Sorry guys, I don't know what happened there just now.
Say goodbye.
0.
It was a pleasure having you as our guests, and we look forward to welcoming you aboard our aircraft again. Thank you and goodbye.
Flaps
Flaps.
coming up.
Flaps. 900 meters remaining.
That was fun. Go to this one. Gateway. External power on. Main bus down. And that's a wrap for us, guys. That was awful. Minus 323. Dude, I kid you not, every time that I stream, whatever can go wrong goes wrong on these damn planes. Cheers, guys, and we are pretty much finished. Let's see, exits down. I don't think GSS works here. Can try. Nope, it does not. Nothing is broken that I can see. And of course the beacon off. Next time I'm gonna stream the Airbus. I swear to God, every time that I take up one of these aircrafts, what could go wrong does go wrong. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy. It was a pleasure having the last hour and change chatting with you. And hopefully I can do another stream in a couple of days, maybe. Not with the Dash 8 though, we'll probably go 747 ops or something. We'll see. But that's it for me. It is minutes to 2, so I am gonna call it a night. Laugh at me, Michael. Oh my God. Anyways, catch you guys on the flip side. You have a good night, and I will see you when I see ya. See ya. You're welcome, bud. I'll talk to you on Discord. See ya. Later, cuz.